And hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Coffee Talk. And I have here a new friend, Pam Grace from Perth, Australia. How does it get better than this?
How does it?
So I really like the topic that you wanted to dive into as it was about parenting, right? So
Sure.
conscious parents, conscious kids. And when I found Access, my kids were really little. They were 3 and 6, and I was really, doing my best to be a good parent and all of that. But man, those Access tools really made it so easy for me.
Oh, yeah.
Why don't you go ahead and share?
Okay. A little bit of background. I'm actually a child and adolescent mental health nurse,
Mm.
and that was my background for 30 or more years. So I would work with parents and kids, mostly those that were seen to have problems. And I had my own 2 children, and then I was gifted these 4 beautiful grandchildren around the time that I found Access. So how did they get so lucky?
Mm.
And I was still working as a child and adolescent mental health nurse when I started doing Access. And I would see these people, and I would kind of just find myself in sort of being these tools, talking about these tools. And it was so easy. And so as soon as I found out about conscious parents, conscious kids, I kind of went, that's it, I'm in. And I became a certified facilitator and have been doing conscious parents, conscious kids. I don't know, I think it seems to be around about 4 or 5 years, but really, like yourself, really dived into it during COVID and have been doing lots of online classes ever since. And of course, practicing and being the tools with my own kids and my grandkids. And now I'll talk to anybody that will listen about parenting and access consciousness and conscious parents, conscious kids. And I know that it is completely different. And what I say to people is, it's completely different. And I would never say throw the baby out with the bathwater and stop doing what you're doing. But I would always say, what would it be like if you added some of these tools to your parenting world? And, would it make your life a little bit easier?
Mhm.
And, I sow a few seeds. And yeah, as I say, we'll talk to anybody that will listen without forcing it on them, which I have done in the past.
Yeah, I know. It's hard when you're like,
It really
"Oh,
is. I want to
you
go,
need to
but
do this."
it works. It's so cool.
Well,
Yeah.
one thing that I know really sticks out for me when I first started applying the tools to my family in my life was not putting the kids first,
Yeah.
putting myself first and putting the
Mm.
kids first after me.
Yeah.
That was huge. And,
Huge. Mm.
we only do that on the airplane, but
Mm.
I do it in life. And honestly, when my kids were in their high school days, I remember saying something to them like, well, you come first. And they go, no, we don't, Mom, you do.
Wow. Wow.
And I was like, oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's
But
true. I do.
without me coming first, I don't have the energy to be able to parent at all. So
Yeah.
that's one of my
Yeah,
favorites.
absolutely. Not sacrificing yourself to be a parent is huge, because the sacrificing yourself to be a parent is it, in this reality, it's seen as wow, she's such a sacrifice, she'll do anything for her children, and seen as being a good parent if you
Right.
sacrifice, when in actual fact, a lot of parents, if they were being truly honest with themselves, I kind of go, but what about me, you
Yeah.
know but we're not allowed, well, we are allowed to say, but how many parents do that? And that's something I that's the invitation I love to be, is that you can actually change that, and you can begin to really honor yourself and care for you. And guess who'll get the greatest benefit from that? Your kids,
Mhm.
you and your kids.
Yeah. And it
It's a
doesn't mean you're
win-win.
not gonna do things for them.
No,
You're just not short ending of the stick or whatever you call that of yourself.
yeah,
You're actually taking care of you as well, which is interesting because it teaches them that they don't have to give themselves up for other people as well.
absolutely. Yeah, for sure. And like all of these tools, if a parent applied them, they just naturally empower the children. You know, you're by choosing to use some of these tools and not sacrifice you, and maybe not control your children quite as much, and allow them to choose and teach them how to choose, and you choose, so that they'll begin to kind of pick that up and get your energy and mimic those choices that you are making. And you're creating a leader. Like you're creating a future leader of the world just by going, hey, I'm not going to sacrifice me. I'm actually maybe going to step back a little bit and not feel the need to jump in and control my child quite so much, or get them to do what I didn't do when I was a kid, and start to look at those things a little bit. And it's kind of huge and amazing, exciting all at the same time. I have to stop myself because I can get very carried away.
Yeah. It's funny, some of the things that I did with my kids, letting them choose what they wanted to wear, letting them choose what they wanted to eat. And I remember my mom just yelling at me saying, "What are you doing giving a child choice?" And I said, "How do you expect them to learn how to choose in life? If let them choose the little things when they're young so that they
Yeah.
learn what choice is."
Yeah,
What are your
absolutely.
favorite tools?
Oh, what are my favorite tools? Okay, one of my real favorites is shut up. And that for me, that's for me, because I just shut up. Just they don't need to hear this. They don't need to hear this. I'm acknowledging that they know. If my own grown-up children who are in their 40s and my 4 grandchildren, it's a continual practice. Do they require anything of me? I'm getting a nod. Uh, is there anything that they can hear right now that will contribute? I'm getting a no. Okay, then stop talking. Just kind of be here, be present, be that expansive energy, be the invitation. And hey, I'm here if you have a question, if
Mhm.
there's anything that you would like from me. And my favorite tool changes every day. But that's the one for today, definitely. Because I met my daughter for a coffee this morning,
Mhm.
and she's just discovered Dr. Dane.
Oh,
And I've been doing access consciousness for 12 years. And before Christmas, she said, I've seen this thing on Facebook. Dane's doing some $15 thing. I think I might join. And I could literally have fallen over because she resisted access for so long. And she did the 15 days and rang me every day and said, oh my God, he drives me crazy, but continued to listen.
Mhm.
And then she rang me and said, I think I might do that the latest reset that Dane is doing. So when I met her for coffee this morning, I was so excited to kind of talk about the tools. And it was so obvious that she didn't want to talk. She wanted to drink her coffee and talk about what she was going to buy at the markets.
Mm.
And it took me a moment, but then I went, okay, Pam, shut up. Drop the barriers. Just
Yep.
receive. Just listen to what it is that she'd like to talk to me about this morning. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a journey, and it's a muscle, and you
Yeah.
know, we don't get it overnight, but my life is so much easier for using the tools.
Yes, totally.
Yeah.
Like not pushing it on them or telling them they have
No.
something to resist against. That's one thing about like the people who like to be the helicopter parents. You want to check up on their
Yeah.
kids all the time. What are you doing? Did you do your homework? Da, da, da. Yeah. If you didn't do that and you let them choose and they either did their homework because they knew they had to do it or didn't do it because they thought they could get away with it, that's on them.
Yep.
And you don't have to say anything. They know what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
They know what they can get away with.
Yeah.
And with my kids, I never got into any of that stuff. I would just, let them reach out to me if they needed help with anything, but I never tried to. And my daughter actually phoned me from college a number of years ago. She's already graduated, but she said, a lot of my friends have helicopter parents who are calling them all the time and check up on them, make sure that they're not drinking and doing drugs. And she said, they're all drinking and doing drugs.
Yeah.
But I'm not. And you don't do that to me. And I feel like I have choice. And actually, they're not happy. And I don't really want to participate in it.
Yeah,
So
right.
I'm doing something different. And I was just like,
wow. Yeah, go me. Yeah. Yeah.
well, and
How
go her
awesome
because
is
it's
that?
her
And
choice.
go her. Absolutely. It's her choice. And you were the invitation for that choice. Like, unless you had been being that and doing that when she was growing up, then she wouldn't, maybe there wouldn't have been the awareness that, wow, okay, this is something I can choose. Like I can choose for me because my mom's choosing for her. And she didn't try to control me. And one of the things that I share with parents is that controlling piece is it's so impelled upon us that we're meant. You're a good parent if you control your children in public. If you control them so that they look like they're good kids, so they make you look good, so people won't judge you. That the judgment piece, that's just, is like, it's the thing that we resist and react to the most as parents. Who's judging us? That's probably my other favorite tool, is that getting out of judgment of you as a parent, and judgment of you and judgment of your kids.
So how did you do that?
So it's a muscle. It's like going to the gym. It's like going to get out of judgment gym, I call it. And so it may not be something you do right away. But I get the first step is like becoming aware of when you're doing it. Like becoming aware of, like, where are you functioning from as a parent? Like, and whose is that? Like, have you copied the way your parents did it, or are you resisting that and you're going with that book, or you're fitting in with your group of friends, or where is it you're actually functioning from right now as a parent? And how much of that is judgment of you or of them? And then just being with that and looking at it and being interested, and without judging it, going, that's interesting. That's interesting that I'm choosing this particular way of handling that situation or managing that situation with my kids. So it's, first step is like, so what am I actually being as a parent, and where has that come from, and is it even mine, and what have I used those tools to let go of that or return that or be interesting point of view. And I continue that practice all the time. For me, not just as a parent, but it tends to pop up a lot when you are a parent, because it's everywhere in society that you have to control your child when they're a baby, when they're a toddler, and particularly when they're a teenager. How dare you not check up on your children to make sure they're not taking drugs? It's kind of frowned
Because we were teenagers and we know.
Absolutely.
What are you talking about? We're not doing anything.
Yeah. Don't look here. Don't look here. And there they are. Yeah. And then when you are judged, and you will be, that's the thing too, is just know you're going to be judged. People will judge you. And if you start using these tools, people will definitely judge you because you'll be doing something very different to other people. So it's just practice. Oh, okay. Yeah, they're judging me right now for whatever I'm doing with my kids. That's just interesting. Interesting point of view that they have that point of view. Interesting point of view that they have that point of view. An interesting point of view that I have this point of view, that they have that point of view. And that's a continual ever-changing muscle, because kids change, we change, everything changes. And it gets easier. It gets easier. So before you know it, you kind of, I used to care about that. I used to care about that person saying that. Now I don't care at all. Like I don't care if they think I'm a good parent or a bad parent. I have no point of view about it. Like, I'm choosing this. It's working for me. It's creating something greater for me and my children and my grandchildren. My God, I feel so blessed that I have these tools, and I just watch my grandchildren kind of grow and blossom and be themselves. And quote me. Yes, I know, Nanny. It's just a choice.
Yeah. They'll quote whatever you're saying. Like, you will hear it back like a parrot. So
yeah, absolutely.
One of the things that I've been playing with a lot lately is, am I trying to be right here?
Yeah, absolutely.
And, what if they know what's right for them?
Yeah.
So,
am I trying to be right, and am I trying to prove something? Yeah. Am I trying to prove I'm right and I'm a good parent? Yeah, I love that, Julie. Am I trying to be right here?
Yeah. So, what if you didn't
How does it get any better?
What if you didn't have to be right?
No.
The willingness to be wrong is just so world changing. Not making yourself wrong, but being willing to be wrong in somebody else's eyes.
Yeah. When I first started this journey, I called my Facebook page The Joy of Being a Bad Parent. But nobody could receive it. Like, and one of the things I had on there was, the willingness to be a bad parent is the freedom you'll enjoy, or something like that. And I was like, no, we're not ready for that. Being a bad parent. But it's something I talk about in the classes. Like, the willingness to be a bad parent is just, it's freedom. It's like, freedom. Use that. Parenting will be a piece of cake.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah. Am I willing to get this spectacularly wrong? Am I willing to get this parenting thing spectacularly wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you come out of judgment of yourself in that willingness, and then you can choose based on the energy of what's light and what's fun and what
Yeah.
will work as opposed to what's right and not wrong.
And you share that then with your children. You let them know that it's okay.
Mhm.
It's okay. You don't have to strive to get things right by other people's standards. It's okay to be seen to be wrong by other people. Just keep choosing for you.
Mhm.
That's, you know, a gift. It's a gift. Yeah.
And
If
you
you
can
need to
always
be.
choose again too. That was
And you can,
another
yeah.
beautiful, you know, you don't have to get it right. You can choose and go, oops, that didn't really work. I'll choose again.
Yeah. 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 And not try to hide the things that have not worked and pretend. And kids always know. Kids are like, they're just, they know. They know. You can't hide nothing from your kids because they'll know.
Oh gosh. How brilliant is that though? That was one of the things that I was really clear that I wanted to be empowering them and not doing anything that would squelch their being so that they
Yeah.
always had that for them. So like they started out with well, we all start out with all of this amazing awareness and capacities, but it gets squished over time. So I was
Yeah.
like, oh, please don't let me do anything that's going to squish that because they're so amazing
Yeah. Yeah.
when they're fresh
Totally.
newborn.
Yeah. 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 And now for me, it's about being that without going in to be the savior.
Mhm.
Which, that big five, fifth element stuff for those, I'm sure everyone that sees this will be aware of that. And that for me was a huge thing. Like, I'm a nurse, I'm a parent. It's like, just let me save everybody and the world will be a better place. And now I'm catching myself kind of jumping in to be the fifth element, which is not empowering at all. That's not telling anybody that they're powerful enough to handle this. They don't. They can ask me questions. They can ask for my contribution, and I'm not there to save anybody, including my children and my grandchildren. I'm here to contribute. Yeah, yeah.
Beautiful.
Which is where
Wow.
the shutting up comes in.
Yes, I get that. So if
Yeah.
anybody wants to know more about the Big Five, I know it's in the foundation class. So if you really want a really good explanation and all the ins and outs of it, find a foundation class near you. And also it's in the reset, the $15
Yes.
that
Yeah.
Dean is doing, which is not cool because they said don't give it outside of foundation and then he gets into it for
Dave,
$15.
Dave.
So
Yeah, I know.
damn
How,
it.
how does it get better? But the interesting thing is my daughter's kind of going, yep, 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 right, to all of it. And
Yeah.
she did a bars class about, I don't know, about 5 years ago, and then went, no, I don't need anything else. And she's listening to this stuff now and kind of going, yep, yeah. I don't know what he was talking about, but yeah, I get it.
You're ready when you're ready.
Yeah, ready when you're ready.
Oh, trust you, know what you know, do what you do, have fun or
Yeah.
don't.
I don't. How does it get any better?
Well, thank you so much for
You're
reaching
so
out. And
welcome. You're
this was
so welcome,
fun.
Julie, on this Sunday, very, very hot Sunday morning in Perth. It's
Aw,
been such a pleasure talking to you.
so nice to meet you.
Yeah,
And
you too.
I will put your contact details in the
Cool.
show notes on the YouTube. So if anybody
Thank you
would
so
like
much.
to
Yeah.
one of your classes,
Yeah.
be sure to send me the info.
I will indeed.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Thanks, Julie. Thanks, everyone.
Take care.
You too. Bye now.